Let's get serious for a minute. I'd like to bring the November meeting to order. Would everybody please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all. That was pathetic.
How you been?
I know.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Posenel,
Present.
Commissioner Selberg,
Here.
Commissioner Buck, Commissioner Zarmi,
Here.
Commissioner Walker, Commissioner Coletta,
Here.
Commissioner Jones,
Here.
Commissioner Simons,
Accounted for.
Commissioner Gordon,
Here.
and Chairman Fouché.
Here.
Thank you. You have a quorum.
Thank you. A couple of announcements. Anyone who has not yet signed in, please do so at the table located in the lobby. Should anyone wish to speak, please complete a request form for each item, including sub-items. Please note that there are stairs on the right, left, and center aisle, and we ask that you use caution when using the stairs. There's also a ramp located at the audience's left. If anyone has written comments, exhibits, petitions, photos, or letters they intend to use at today's meeting, please have 17 copies and give them to the staff member in the back of the auditorium. She's got her hand up. If you do not have 17 copies, you may use the table with the overhead camera next to the podium to present your documents. If you want your documents to go on record, please hand those to the clerk after your presentation with the agenda item clearly marked on the document. Members of the public cannot speak to the staff members who are sitting front at the table there, primarily because they got microphones. If you have any questions, please see the staff member located in the back of the auditorium who can meet you in the lobby. Staff members are up here. A timer will be activated, and all speakers will be limited to 2 minutes to make their presentations and statements. Everyone, please turn off your cell phones and pagers and place them on vibrate during the meeting. Even if you must receive a phone call, please leave the meeting area and go outside to have your conversation. We also ask that the audience refrain from talking with one another during the presentations and discussion. Today, the Planning and Zoning Commission will hear public testimony and then forward a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. The items with recommendations made by the Commission will be heard by the Board of Supervisors on Monday, December 2nd at 9:30 a.m. in the same location, with the exception of any continued items. Everyone attending the meeting is asked to remember that the administrative building and campus are tobacco-free areas, which means no smoking is allowed curb to curb. Also, only bottled water is allowed in the auditorium. No food, soda, coffee, etc. is allowed. If there are any items remaining on the agenda, the Commission will break for lunch at 1 p.m. Approval of the August 19th, 2013 minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review those? Any changes? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we accept the minutes as written.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Thank you. Consent agenda?
Carl,
Yes.
sorry. There's two sets of, that was for the workshop, and there's also the last month's meeting.
Oh, all right. I didn't see that on here. Anyway, we have minutes for the workshop, that's right, with the
That
Board of
was what you just
Supervisors.
approved. You just approved the workshop minutes.
Oh, that was it. Okay, well, now we're going to approve the minutes from last month's meeting. Any corrections or changes to that? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion to approve the minutes.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Yep, there it is, John, thank you. Consent agenda. Anybody want to pull anything from the consent agenda? We have one item. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we accept the consent agenda as stated.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the consent agenda. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Regular agenda, item number 2. Okay, I've got an extra one right here.
Carl's got a new one.
Item 2 is an evaluation of request for a zoning use permit on assessor's parcel numbers 224-09006 and 007 for a recreational vehicle park, camping, and outdoor storage in an AR, agricultural residential 1-acre minimum lot size zone in the South Mohave Valley. Staff recommends approval of the zoning use permit as indicated in the staff report. There is a petition of opposition with 24 signatures representing 16 parcels in the area. There are also 2 letters of opposition that were provided by people who also signed the petition. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Montgomery. Is the applicant present? Would you like to address the commission? We have 1 speaker. Or do you want to wait?
Yes, I would like to. I plan on making a,
State your name.
John Ecker.
Okay.
I plan on, we bought 8 acres over there, 2 4-acre parcels. The parcel number 6, I plan on leaving that all natural and growing more mesquite trees. And we're going to keep the park all enclosed. You wouldn't see anything from the street with fences and all that. I don't know what else to say, but our means are good.
Okay, well, let's...
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I have a question. How many spaces are you going to have in that park? Do you have a site plan?
Yeah, there is a site plan. We actually had,
It was not in our package.
Yeah, it wasn't in the packet.
we have 11 spaces there.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question?
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
Sir, where are you on with your situation with the water?
Oh, we're on the wells over there.
Okay.
And for the wastewater, you're going to be using septic tanks?
Yes.
Are there going to be multiple septic tanks in there?
We've already had a perk test, and Vader Tank's going to do all that for us, and it's been engineered for the right size for all the spaces.
So have you presented that to the health department yet?
We haven't been to the health department, but as I'm looking at the plan, my son and I drew these plans, and we only have 5 spaces that are going to be on full-time hookups.
And the rest?
The rest are going to be like dry camping.
So the total of 11, 5 are going to be permanent, is that what you're saying?
Well, we have some spaces that are, well, we have like 5 spaces that are going to be with concrete, electrical, plumbing, sewage, and all that hooked up to the septic tank. And this is on one 4-acre parcel. Lot number 6 is all going to be just all natural. We're going to keep it natural like a park. We want to keep it like a park-like setting.
Okay, well, let's bring up our first speaker, Jack and Anna Lee Maple.
Can we come together?
Sure, why not?
I spoke with John Montgomery, and he had me send in,
Please state your name.
I'm sorry, Annalee Maple. I live at 3170 Stagecoach Drive.
My name is Jack Maple, and I live at the same address.
Thank you.
Okay.
Continue.
I spoke with John Montgomery, and he said that I could get a petition up with signatures, which I did, of 20, and I think that was spoken about. But I also have letters of opposing this from our neighbors. This is going to be directly across 60 feet from us. Right now, we are looking at this type of,
Why don't you put that
Where do
on
I
the
put
table?
it?
Just put it on the black X there, and we can see it on the,
my color printer was
That's fine.
not working too well.
Okay.
But this is looking directly across from us as it is now.
So what you're saying is the chain link fence is your property?
Yes.
Okay, and so across the street is what we're talking about?
Yeah, 60 feet across from us. And it's all residential there. I'd like to ask if anybody of you would like to live with a campground right across from you on a little two-lane dirt road that all this traffic is going to be going up and down, and the entrance is going to be in on our two-lane dirt road. It's going to be noisy, there's going to be overhead lights, there's going to be traffic, it's going to pollute the ground. We have well water, and I don't know what it's going to do to our well water, but the noise disruption.
About 4 or 5 months ago, we had our property reassessed just to find out what it was worth. This was before this all went in. And we were told then that we would be lucky to get 60% of what we have invested in our property right now. And if this thing goes in, we know it's just going to go lower. So it's going to be an economic turnback for us.
It's going to be chaos for us to live with that across the street with all the traffic and noise. And we have a dog. Our two neighbors have 3 dogs. Danny and down on the end of the road has 5 dogs. And every little sound they hear, they bark. Our dog is going to have to be kept inside because it's very protective of us, and it's not used to traffic. We don't want the bright lights. We don't want the noises. We don't want the radios. We don't want any of this across the road from us. I think it's a true annoyance to have to put up with this when we've got so much invested in our property. We've lived there 22 years, and we've put a lot of money into that property, and we enjoy it the way it is. And all the signatures that I have, 20 does not want campgrounds, commercial property in our little agricultural and residential area. It's just unbelievable that someone would want to do that.
Just one other note, with all this construction going on, in the wintertime, the prevailing winds come from the north, which is across the street from us, so it will be coming right into our front door. And if there's going to be a lot of dust, I have COPD, so if there's a lot of dust and everything coming from that, then that's going to be an added medical situation for me to take care of. So it's just something for you to consider.
And those overhead lights will be directly facing our front room. I just can't believe anybody would want to live like that.
Have you spoke with the applicant about what he's going to do for lighting and all the stuff that, I mean, you make it sound like there's going to be a truck stop there.
Well, the thing is, nobody came to us and said it until they posted the sign up about 3 weeks ago. So immediately I called Planning and Zoning to find out what was going on, and nobody has said anything, but they've already started without even getting a permit or being approved of. They have already started digging up, tearing out trees, staking out their properties, and I don't see how they could do that without getting it approved.
Well, there are certain things you can do at risk, but,
Mr. Chairman,
yeah.
I have a question for the staff. The zoning around this, is it the R1 or is it, what is the zoning around the property?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Azarmi, I believe,
So I looked at the
according
zoning map.
to the map we have here, the zoning is all AR 1A.
They're all AR around it?
Yes.
Okay, because the zoning map that we have didn't show any, specification.
On the third map of the set,
I see.
over at the side, says all zoning AR 1A.
Okay, and then the access that they're going to have for these 11 spaces, is that going to be coming from Courtright, or is that going to come from the Stagecoach?
My understanding is that it would come off of Stagecoach. Apparently, there's a significant drop between Courtright and the north side of the property.
So all the properties around are AR at this time, subdivided and, I see some smaller ones and I see some, bigger ones. So I mean, it seems like, if they subdivided these two parcels, they can have 8 or more houses on it. Is that correct?
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Azarmi, yes, they could split each of these 4-acre parcels into 4 ones if they wanted. Of course, if they go over 5 parcels, then they get into a subdivision issue.
Okay, and I have a question for the health department. In terms of they're saying that they're going to have so many septic tanks. How about the requirement of minimum 1 acre that you have for health department? Is that applicable to this particular say?
Chairman, Commissioner Azami, environmental health is delegated for 3,000 gallons per day flow rate by the state. If we go over that, the project has to be submitted to the state. At this time, nothing has been submitted on this project to environmental health, but that is a relatively small RV park. And with dry camping, there are different stipulations than if you have a RV that you're staying in that has its own facility.
Well, the applicant said that they're going to have 5 septic tanks, right? And the rest would be dry camping. So if they have 5 septic tanks with the acreage that they have you had any cases that you approved a case like this?
Well, again, we haven't had any plans submitted yet. However, for an RV park, many times they do one system, and it all flows into the one system. And that can have 2 different tanks in tandem to accommodate the flow rate. And then, of course, the field is based on the percolation test.
Thank you.
Could I have the applicant back up here for just a second? I got a couple of questions.
Pardon?
The applicant, I just need to ask him, you can step aside for just a second here, because I just,
Sit down.
Sorry you think it's going to be such a big bright lights. I didn't even have a plan on having one light in there.
my question has to do with Courtright and Stagecoach, and where's your main entrance going to be? And because I have a problem with it being on Stagecoach.
We could make it off of Courtright. It would, there's a little bit of a berm and a slight wash there. Okay, so we'd have to make maybe put a pipe in, or just, you'd have to see right out in front of the property. It's not impossible. It's maybe only, I don't know, 4 feet it comes down, and then it goes into the property. I'd be glad to have it off of Courtright.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
May I ask, it seems like you went so far ahead without consulting or reviewing the plans or, even talking to the staff. What was the reason for that? Why didn't you, approach the staff to, get some feedback before, you come before us?
We bought this property, my son and I, and we figured, well, for one thing, my real estate agent says, oh, you won't have any problems changing the zoning. So I went forth, okay?
Have we ever heard that before?
Well, what I'm saying is that, you do have some drawing which was not shared with the health department nor with,
I'll share with everybody. This thing is open. I'm very proud of these drawings.
John?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Azarmi, just as a point of clarification, the applicant did come to staff several months ago about this proposal. We advised him that it would require a rezone if he wanted to do it. He did send us this set of plans for a courtesy review. This is not an official
Right.
submittal. He did provide plans to staff for courtesy review, but we don't go into the full site plan process until the rezone is approved. So it isn't that he hasn't approached staff. We have been discussing it with him, what would be required as far as the rezone, and basically the minimums that would be required for his plan, so that he'd have it in good shape to provide once it's appropriate to put that plan into effect.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
John, so basically based on your review or the courtesy review that you did, you made the recommendation to approve with the 7 stipulation that you have there. Is that correct?
The staff review is based on what would be allowed by the zoning ordinance.
Correct, the land use
And-
ordinance.
And basically, We believe that with perhaps a few minor modifications, this site plan or park plan could go through the approval process. But the staff review is based on whether it would comply with the zoning ordinance once the rezone took place. And that was, of course, before the notification went to neighboring property owners to get their reaction. This is the first opportunity that neighbors have to present their issues.
I think what I'm thinking here is there's quite a few people that have signed off on the petition, and the Maples came to the meeting. I'm thinking that the applicant needs to sit down with the homeowners in that immediate area there and explain to them what's going on, and maybe continue this for 30 days or something to get some of these knots worked out, if you will, because obviously there's some resistance there. So I don't know what everybody else is thinking, but that's kind of what's going through my mind.
Mr. Chairman, my thinking would be come off court right.
I would agree 100% on.
And also the lights. I can certainly understand the lights
Well,
situation.
lights would have to be like tennis court lights
Right.
facing down, you know, that's pretty much what everybody's got to do because of the dark sky laws anyway, so. But those are the kinds of things I think that need to get worked out before we can say yes or no.
Mr. Chairman, I'm thinking 60 days would be,
60?
give a little more time to make sure everything gets.
Mr. Chairman, I would agree that, I think they need to look at how they can, I don't think it's a huge impact, it's not a big park, but there certainly are ways I think they can help mitigate the impacts coming off of Cartwright, some landscape and buffer zones between the development and Stagecoach Drive and some things. I think if they get together.
Some of the vegetation on Stagecoach so that.
Yeah, there's a good buffer there now, if that can stay in effect.
Mr. Chairman, you cannot see the property from these people's houses. They showed you all the trees. That's what you see you look out, there's fence, and you see trees.
It's not signed up.
We understand that,
keeping
and
that.
that's kind of probably the direction that we would like to go, but I think,
Mr. Okay.
yeah, that's what it looked like, big ones. Yes,
Mr.
go
Ecker,
ahead.
during the time, if they give you the extension to, post and have a meeting, maybe you can discuss, they're worried about the tree line, they're worried about the dust, they're worried about the noise. Put something together, and that way, when it comes back to us, what kind of wall are you making for a sound barrier? Are you leaving the exterior trees? What kind of lighting? During that time, so that the people are feeling comfortable with you wanting to do this and make progress toward a business that you are looking for and bringing business to your community.
That sounds reasonable.
Okay, all right.
Mr.
Sir,
Chairman.
you had a second. Do you say, want to say something? If, you got to come down to the microphone, sir.
Approach the board, please.
Be careful.
Take your time.
Not that it's of any concern to anybody here, but approaching Veterans Day, I'd like to say a lot of us here
State your
did
name.
spend time. maybe
Please state your name.
I'm Dr. Jim Webb,
Okay.
and we have spent a lifetime just trying to put a place in there right now. We started way before he did, and I'd like to go on record stating that if he continues the way he's going, I can't see how it could be anything but a disaster. Now, this is my opinion only. But up to now, it's been insane. We're putting a place in right now. I'm very, very uptight about this. I'm sure you can tell. It's already cost me a small fortune to go back in and redo it because he has torn out like 60% of all the shrubs that are there. And everything.
Let me interrupt you. So he's tearing shrubs out on his property, and you don't like that?
Well, I don't care if he tears them all out, but when he does it, and we're putting a new place in, we're trying to paint it, it's filling the place with dirt.
Oh, okay.
And it puts us back up for rebuild, repaint, and I'm going to be living with this. He's, right next door to me. And I just can't believe that he would even approach this.
Well, obviously he has not, and that is exactly what the commission is proposing, that he gets with staff again and
Yes,
kind of
sir.
go over a few things, and then have a meeting set up in a few weeks with the homeowners, especially the ones that have signed the petition, and sit down and have a cordial meeting and
right.
understand what's going on. You
Okay.
guys can tell him what's bothering you, he can tell you what he's doing, and then we can all get back together and have another meeting. Go ahead. Yeah, I know you weren't finished.
Beg your pardon, sir?
Continue on, I'm sorry. Eddie.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's the only way we will get to a, hopefully, congenial answer here. And I don't see how that can happen at the rate that it's going, because his input is going almost over my property just to get into his place.
Yeah, well, we're going to suggest that the roadway change and eliminate traffic on those
The
sites.
noise she's talking about, I mean, the value of my place, it doesn't have a value now. And I'm building a brand-new place there.
Okay,
It's gone.
well,
I thank you very much.
all right,
I
thank you
appreciate
very
your
much.
time.
We're going to,
Mr. Chairman?
yes, go ahead.
I just want to make sure that, we all know that, this commission's responsibility is only land use ordinance, and we have to basically look if, within the guideline of the land use ordinance, this project that is proposed is compatible. I think that, the part about, I agree with you 100% about for the applicant to be able to disclose more information to the neighboring properties to make sure that, they understand fully what, he's going to propose in terms of the lighting, in terms of the dust control, in terms of spaces. I highly recommend the applicant to also get with Health Department as a courtesy to review, to see what exactly you're going to be doing for the wastewater and your application there. So that gives you an opportunity to look into, all the aspects of them, come back with more information before us. No, perk
Okay.
test is not what we're talking
That's
about.
not what we're
That
talking
has
about.
nothing,
And dust control also.
Right.
Any additional questions or comments from the commission? Item number 2.
could
I'll entertain a motion.
could I move, excuse me, I'd like to move that we table this for 60 days.
Okay. We have a motion and a second.
Second?
Okay. Those in favor of continuing item number 2 for 60 days, in order for the applicant to get with staff and the neighbors, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion is continued or passed. Item number 3.
Item 3 is an evaluation of request for rezone of assessors parcel numbers 30626-008Q and 008R from an AR-10A agricultural residential 10-acre minimum lot size zone to an AR agricultural residential 1-acre minimum lot size zone to allow compliance with minimum lot size in the Golden Valley area. Staff recommends approval as indicated in the staff report. Thank you.
Is the applicant present? The applicant is not present. Oh, you are? Okay. We have no speakers on the item. Any questions or comments of the speaker from the commission?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
John, on the GIS map, I see a lot of improvements there. Could you explain what those are? Are they consistent with the county ordinance?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Azarmi, I believe, let's see. Oh, in the staff report, it indicates that the structures on the property don't currently have permits, with the exception of a carport and a travel trailer permit that was expired on 30626-008R. This property was previously rezoned for the parcel split, and apparently split at that time without filing the parcel plat. And so basically, they're coming back through now to correct what wasn't done by the prior owner. Now, exactly what's on the property, I'm not sure. There are apparently some unpermitted structures, but until they get the rezone, they can't get permits for those structures. the county can't issue permits until the zoning is correct.
Are these newer buildings? Are they older ones? Do we know?
I would have to ask the applicant for that information.
Could the applicant come down, just answer a couple questions for us? Please. Please state your name.
Carl Talmadge.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Could you explain what improvements you have on these properties?
Well, there's really there was a bunch of trailers there, and I took them all off and got rid of them all.
Trailers, trailers, or mobile homes?
Yeah, just mobile homes. Because before there's the owner that before me was tearing them apart and ripping them up and throwing trash on it. I took everything to the dump.
So how many mobile homes do you have on these properties right now?
Oh, just on the one on the far end is got 2 trailers and that's all.
Two
but
mobile
nobody
homes?
lives in them.
2 mobile homes?
Yeah,
And people are staying?
trailers actually.
Is it travel trailer, like an RV?
Yeah, travel trailers.
Okay, are they people staying in there, those travel trailers?
No.
And are they hooked up to any wastewater, or what exactly?
No.
So what is the purpose of these travel trailers on that property?
Well, they're for storage. But
On both properties, so you only have on the 008Q?
the middle
and 0
property is all cleared off now.
So one property is all cleared off, there is absolutely nothing on it?
No.
And one of them has 2 travel trailer on it?
Yes. But just for storage and stuff.
Staff, is this consistent with what your information is, or we don't know, or?
Mr. Chairman, I wasn't able to go out personally and look at this property. When the postings and stuff were done, I was on vacation, so I haven't personally visited this property, and I'm afraid I can't answer.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Could I ask staff if, whoever goes out to, post a sign is to take a couple of pictures?
Yeah, they
That would
generally
be
do.
really helpful.
Yeah, they do once in a while, but I guess my question is I'm a little bit, it's zoned AR 10A right now. These 2 parcels, how large are these 2 parcels?
Acres and a half
Acre and a half.
each.
Okay, now I understand why it's what it is.
Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery, is there you said there isn't a parcel plat for these 3 parcels?
There is for the one, 306-26008P, that was rezoned under a different rezone, and the parcel plat was filed for that one in recent time. The original parcel plat, when this was rezoned about 10 years ago, was not filed.
Do you know on that one for P, does it have dedicated access for those other 2 parcels? Because I don't see that. I mean, there's a road there they're using, but do they have access?
I would have to look at that parcel plat, but generally, when those are approved, they do
Usually
provide
have,
for an
right.
easement, yes.
Commissioner Posnell, I can attest that there is access, and it does come off of Leosa. And when you come down, the last time I was down there, when there was tenants,
Is it dedicated access, though?
yes, I don't know, I know that it is maintained or was maintained at one point because we had access to go down there. The buildings that are down there is what I don't understand, if I haven't been down there in a while. But the one property, 008Q, did have the trailer houses on it. And then the other one, 008R, it actually had 2 which looked like houses put together, and then they roof structured them and hooked them together. Now, you've torn all that down as well?
On the one there, it has 2 carports
Okay.
and a trailer in between it. Storage,
Okay.
rather.
And then, but there was a makeshift house on one of these at
Yeah.
one time. Is that torn down?
Well, on the middle one, yes. Everything's taken out.
Right. But on the end one, you cleared the middle one,
There's
you
like
said
a
that was
little barn
completely
on
clear.
one. There's a little barn on one.
Okay, so I'm asking you on the very end one,
Yeah.
did you remove the house-like structure that was makeshift there? Was that one torn down, so the only thing is
No,
just
it's
the two
still sitting,
garages?
it's still sitting there.
Okay.
Any additional questions of the speaker or staff?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Do you also own that property P008P?
The one would be just to the west of
The
where you're
access
at.
that
When do you
goes,
have to go through to get?
I sold that front property to another man, and he's paying for it.
okay, did you reserve access, do you have an access easement recorded?
Yes, a 20-foot easement goes back to the back two properties.
Recorded.
Yes.
Okay. Any additional questions of the speaker or staff? Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion. Item number 3.
Discussion?
Is there any additionals? I've already asked that twice.
Uh,
Any additional questions, comments?
The only thing that I see is that, the gentleman is saying that, he has cleaned up, and I believe that, it's consistent with the land use ordinance, and it seems like there is a recorded access to those properties in the back. So I think from our point of view, it's consistent.
I think so, too.
So with that, if there is no other discussion, I'll make a motion to approve per staff recommendation.
I'll second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Item number 3, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 4.
Item 4 is an evaluation of a request for a rezone of assessors parcel numbers 306-46091 and 092 from AR 10A agricultural residential 10-acre minimum lot size to AR 1A agricultural residential 1-acre minimum lot size to allow compliance with minimum lot size. Staff recommends approval of the proposed rezone as indicated in the staff report. Thank you.
Is the applicant present for item number 4? Okay. We have no speakers on the item.
I'm not Mr. Bowen, I'm Mr. White.
Okay.
I bought it from Bowen's.
Okay. Would you like to address the commission or see if there's any questions?
I can show you some pictures of it if you...
Okay, I think we're good with that. If you could come up, state your name, show us some pictures.
My name is Mike White, and I bought this property a few years ago from Bowen's, but they didn't follow through with all the paperwork, I guess, so this is what we've done to it. Everything inside this half of the fence is what I've bought and fixed up. But I guess when they did their rezone of it or whatever, they didn't follow through with all their paperwork, and it got kicked back out, I guess, or something. I don't know. I got some letters in the mail saying I don't own it now, so that's why I'm here.
So this is just to bring it into compliance.
Right.
Okay, any questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Crystal, are you familiar with the property? We need your opinion.
Yeah.
I'm familiar,
Give us a
yeah,
clue.
I'm familiar with that property as well. It's actually, since they've taken it over, I can't really tell you how long ago. I just know that it has been cleaned up immensely from the debris that was there and boards and kind of pretty much everyone shoveling stuff over there. It looks really good. And if he intends to put a house and stuff there, and, I'm definitely for it.
All right.
Any additional questions or comments of the speaker or staff? Thank you very much. Any discussion?
Straightforward.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve per staff recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve item number 4. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 5.
Item 5 is an evaluation of request for a zoning use permit on assessor's parcel number 354200001B for secondary residence in an AR 10A agricultural residential 10-acre minimum lot size zone in the Cedar Hills vicinity. Staff recommends approval of the zoning use permit as indicated in the staff report. Thank you.
Is the applicant present? We have no speakers on the item. Do anybody have any questions?
It's pretty straightforward.
If not, okay. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve per staff recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for item number 5. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 6, which is our calendar approval for 2014. Everybody have a chance to look at that? For new commissioners, you may wonder why the third Wednesday is also got P&C in there, but that's in case we have to
Right.
extend the meeting for a week or we get past the point of no return here. Any questions, changes, comments? Staff's good with all that?
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, we are. However, staff would like to remind the commission that the only thing you'll be approving today is the date, time, and location. There's a lot of other stuff on the calendar. Those are basically items that staff has to follow
Right.
through on, or the applicants have to follow through on in order to meet your calendar.
So, all right, we're just dealing with our stuff. Any questions, comments? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to
Excuse me, I have
approve.
I have one
Yes,
que-
I'm
one
sorry.
question.
Mr. Jones?
Was it March?
No, it's every month.
Oh.
We're changing the time.
Changing the
of our
time to
meetings
1:30?
It's 2:30.
To 2:30 in the afternoon?
Oh,
Oh, and you guys,
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it shows
Ms.
2:30.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, the way this calendar is proposed, the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting would continue to take place every Wednesday at 10 a.m.
shoot, okay.
Or every second Wednesday of the month at 10 a.m. What occurs at 2:30 p.m., and that's a staff item, and I should have clarified that, I'm sorry, that's a
So you're
staff
changing our
item.
time.
Where
I
we
didn't
get
even
together
catch
and
that.
discuss what a nightmare you've created for us. No, we get together and discuss the follow-through that we need to do in order to make sure that those items that have been approved move on to the Board of Supervisors, those items that have been continued, that we follow through and make sure that
Okay.
they return to.
I can handle that. You can have 2:30.
Yeah. Okay, so the meetings are at 10 a.m. Nobody have any heart attacks? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the calendar for permanency later from board, staff, however you want to put that.
Second?
We have a motion and a second for the 2014 P&Z calendar. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and
To the public.
before I do call the public, Ms. Ballard had a few comments that she wanted to bring up.
The one item I wanted to bring up was to remind the commission that the December meeting, after the December meeting, the county provides you with lunch. It's our way of saying thank you to you for volunteering your time every second Wednesday of the month. John Ortman has already sent around the notices along with the menu choices. Please do get back to him as soon as you can. In any case, he needs this information by November 27th. For those of you who've already gotten back to John, I want to say thank you.
All right. Any additional comments from the commissioners? Call to the public? Anybody wish to speak? Call to the public? No one, so we'll close the public comment period, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned.